大家好. Hello everyone. So we are pleased to make our regular video webinar for our Chinese colleagues and friends.
大家好，非常欢迎来到今天我们的网络研讨会，我们很高兴为大家。
I hope that everyone feels healthy and safe.
我希望大家别来无恙。
I would like also to thank Kazakh Invest for the support on doing this event.
我也非常想感谢哈萨克投资国有公司来我们一起合办这次网络研讨会。
Today we will speak about migration issues, visa support, and labor-related issues.
今天呢，我们将讨论一些签证问题以及一些劳务合同问题。
We have prepared the material based on the questions which we have received earlier from you.
我们的此次研讨会呢，是基于之前大家征集的相关问题的基础上。
We will do the presentation for 1 hour, and afterwards we will have 30 minutes for questions and answers section.
此次研讨会呢为时1个小时，之后呢我们会有30分钟的一个问答环节。
In case if you have questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat section in any language you prefer, English or Chinese or Russian.
如果各位有任何的问题呢，欢迎在我们的这个聊天框里面输入您的问题。问题可以是英文的，也可以是中文的，我们会为您解答。
Kaysar will be helping me with the translation.
那么我本人凯撒，我会负责翻译工作。谢谢大家。
We will make the video recording, so afterwards you can watch it again in case if you would like to. The video recording will be available on the PwC website and the website of Kazakh Invest.
此次网络研讨会呢将被录制，那么之后呢，我们会将这录制的结果视频发布到我们的普华永道中文网上以及哈萨克投资的官方网络上面，欢迎大家届时收看。
In case if you will have some further questions which you would like to discuss offline, then you can contact me. My name is Dana Takmur, and I lead the Chinese desk in PwC Kazakhstan.
如果后续您有任何问题呢，欢迎您跟我联系。我的名字叫 Dana Takmuzina， 我是普华永道合伙人，是中国服务的负责人。
And now I would like to pass the word to Kuanysh, who is the leader and general representative of Kazakh Invest in China.
现在呢，我想把话语权交给我们的华内师先生，他是我们哈萨克投资中国区的总代表。
Kuanysh.
Presentation for your introduction. We're very glad to take part in this webinar. 凯撒可以我就直接说中文吧。
好的。
大家好，我们非常高兴能够今天参与普华永道的同事们组织的活动。我们是哈萨克斯坦政府招商引资机构的这个驻华首席代表。华内时这边是我的同事扎纳特先生。我们常驻北京。在普华永道的这个活动的范围能够接触和认识并交流一下，对和哈萨克斯坦开展合作感兴趣的一些中国企业。那下面我的这个我想介绍一下我们今天从哈萨克斯坦投资招商引资机构的参与的一些我的同事们。一个是刚才我在北京的同事，我刚才已经介绍，我是扎纳特代表。另外我们还有一个叫做 Almas Khamza 的一个负责在我们总部负责签证和移民业务的我们服务社的项目经理。另外稍微晚一些，我们还有一个也是我们总部的负责和我们对接这个新型的一些项目的同事詹米亚女士，她也一会儿会参与进去。那下面我想简单的跟这个大家介绍一下我们这个机构和我们的一些哈萨克斯坦的和中国之间的投资合作，包括我们进行的一些相关的一些工作业务范围。 那第一，我们这机构是哈萨克斯坦政府中央政府的倡议成立的一个中央政府的招商引资机构。我们机构的董事会主席是总理，然后还有3个政府内阁成员也是担任我们机构的董事会成员，包括主管工业的副总理，包括国民经济部的部长和外交部的部长。在日程的工作上，由于我们的工作紧密与和国外的合作伙伴这个交流和接触有紧密的关系，因此我们在日常的工作当中很多的一些日常工作和业务和外交部下面的投资委员会是这个共同进行的。另外我们这机构是17年成立的，然后由于这个特殊的这种结构我们是直接在这个中央层面至中国哈萨克斯坦的一些主管工业还有比如说经济的其他的一些有限领域的发展负责的一些中央部门我们进行直接的一些对接，包括像农业部、国民经济部工业和基础设施发展部能源部等等。另外我们这个机构范围内还有在哈萨克斯坦的每个州都有首席代表，因这个首席代表也是同时也担任州政府的或者州长的这个投资顾问这个也是有助于我们从境外和境外的这个合作伙伴对接的这些项目落地到某一个地区的时候能够有更加顺利的这个并更加快捷的来完成在当地需要的一些这个，比如说从我们机构或者从当地政府层面需要的一些协助以便这些项目尽早投产竣工。此外呢，我们一个和中国的这个在投资合作方面比较重要的一个部分，应该提到的是哈萨克斯坦和中国之间的开展的产能投资合作的一个合作机制这个机制是双方14年年底是2国总理发起的，然后15年开始这个双方启动的目前从15年到现在这个合作机制已经是经营就是有5年了，然后在5年内目前这个机制下有56个这个合作项目，这些项目总额现在应该是超过200多个亿美元其中这些项目的领域包括化工、工程、金融、农业、基础设施建设还有这个能源、新能源冶金等领域然后其中这些项目当中有17个项目已经完成了这个建设有15个项目是在建设过程中然后24个项目是相对于这个新成立的新对接的，然后在开发的过程中所以我们也欢迎今天参加这个我们的活动的中方企业也参与哈萨克斯坦和中国之间的投资合作下面我想简单的如果今天参加活动的一些企业当中有一些有投资业务的一些企业的话，我们还有哈萨克斯坦专门对外国投资者所设立的一些优惠政策，也可以这个跟大家说一下。像这些优惠政策包括税收方面的优惠政策，像这个所得税包括这个关税、进口关税，还有土地税和资产税的免征的政策。此外呢，也是哈萨克斯坦有几个 在不同的领域的一些金融国家的这个国有的一些金融机构专门扶持一些这个和外国投资者共同建设的或者共同开发的一些项目的这种扶持的一些政策。另外这个哈萨克斯坦有在全国各地基本上能够涵盖这个哈萨克斯坦的中南西北，包括中部的地区的一些经济特区，这些经济特区类似于中国的这个开发区或者这个的政策，他们带有一些自身的一些优惠政策。将来到时候反正如果有一些公司有具体的一些对开展这个投资合作的一些兴趣的话，我们可以线下详细的去交流。非常感谢。
Kuanysh, thank you very much. I think now we would like to pass the floor to Almas Khamza, who is one of your team members.
非常感谢华内西先生的介绍。那么现在呢，我把话筒交给我们的 Almas Khamza 先生，他是你的同事。
Thank you so much, dear ladies and gentlemen.
女士们、先生们，非常感谢大家。
I'm a manager of Service Support Department of Kazakh Invest National Company, joint stock company.
我是我们哈萨克投资国有公司服务支持部的经理。
Today I'll be presenting visa and migration regime of Republic of Kazakhstan.
那今天呢，我想为大家介绍一下我们签证和相关的一些制度的一些情况。
Speaking about the visa migration, here at this slide, as you can see, I've outlined the most prominent and the most applied to visas and that we help to obtain this kind of visas. The mostly, firstly, generally, it is business type of visas, and for those who coming for the investors purpose, and the people who are coming for the labor activities. So speaking about the business visa.
Sorry, shall I translate?
Excuse me.
大家可以在幻灯片里面看到的是，我们目前呢可以看到的一些主要的签证类型。那么我们有商务签证以及投资签证以及其他的一些劳务签证等等。
So speaking about the visa, business visa categories, here we have B2, B3, and C5 visa categories.
劳务签证呢，我们有 B2、B3 以及 C5 类型的签证。
Specifically speaking about the B2 category, it is given for the who are arriving for the installation, repair, and maintenance of equipment purposes, and also for providing consulting and audit services.
B2 类型的签证呢，是为来哈为了安装、修理、保养设备以及提供咨询和审计服务类型的商务活动进行签发的。
Single entry of this business visa is valid for 90 days with a period of stay of 30 days, whereas multiple business entry visas of this category is valid up to 180 days with period of stay of up to 90 days.
附近的商务签证 B2 类型的呢，它的有效期为90天，那单次的逗留期限呢不超过30天，而多次往返的B2 商务签证呢，它的有效期为180天，那么单次的逗留期限不超过90天。
Visa of this category is issued by the foreign institution of Republic of Kazakhstan on basis of invitation, and as a Ministry of Internal Affairs of Kazakhstan on basis on the petition.
那么此类签证签发的机构类型呢，是由哈萨克斯坦政府驻外境外机构签发的，也可以根据哈萨克斯坦内务部根据签证申请人的申请进行签发。
Coming into the next category of visa category is B3 category, which is one of the most popular that investors and potential investors are coming and applying to through us.
那么下一签证类型呢是 B3类型的签证，此类签证类型呢也是最为普遍的，大部分赴哈进行商务及投资活动人士呢都向我们来申请此类签证。
So basically, single entry business visa is given for the arriving purpose of negotiation, signing of the contracts, whereas multiple entry business visa is given for the negotiation, signing of the contracts. Again, in the field of, here's the important moment, in the field of cooperation of industrialization and investment. Also, this type of visa category also obtained by and given to founders and members of board of directors of companies.
那么此类签证的签证申请目的呢，有分为两种，一种是单次入境，另外一种是多次入境。单次入境的商务的目的是来华洽谈和签订合同，那么多次入境呢是有来华洽谈、签订合同，以及关于产业化、投资领域方面形成形式的合同，以及成为某企业或公司创始人或董事会成员的目的。
Speaking about its validity, it's given up to single entry is given up to 90 days with a period of stay of 30 days, and multiple and business visa B3 is given up to 1 year with a period of stay 30 days upon each entry.
那么关于签证逗留期限呢？那么有效期为90天的单次入境商务签证呢，它的单次逗留期限是不超过30天的，而有效期为1年的多次往返的商务签证呢，此类签证类型呢是逗留期限单次不超过30天。
Speaking about the institution which are given this visa as B2 categories is also given by the Foreign Institution of Republic of Kazakhstan on basis of invitation and at the Ministry of Internal Affairs on the basis of petition.
签证发机构呢，根据邀请函呢，是由哈萨克斯坦政府驻外境外机构来签发的，也可以根据申请由哈萨克斯坦的内务部进行签发。
And the next one of the most important visa categories is C5. Recently, it has been there has been some amendments to the law of Republic of Kazakhstan in the migration field.
那么同样呢，我们有其他一些类型的签证类型，根据我们哈萨克斯坦移民局的一些决议进行签发。
So basically, people who are planning to do business activities in Kazakhstan can apply to this visa category.
那么想在哈萨克斯坦进行一些投资活动的人士呢，可以根据要求申请以下类型签证。
So briefly speaking, the multiple of this visa category can be given up to 2 years, and it's given on the basis of it will be given at the Foreign Institution of the Republic of Kazakhstan.
那么这种 C5 类型的签证呢，它有效期单次入境签证呢有效期为90天，多次的呢是2年。那么它是由哈萨克斯坦的驻外境外机构进行签发的。
And one of the next visa category is the A5 category, which is primarily given to investors. And it's specifically speaking, is given to investing with the investment purpose, and is for the heads and deputy heads and heads of structural divisions carrying out investment activities in the Republic of Kazakhstan. And also, it's important to note out it's given to the members of their families in Kazakhstan.
下一类型的签证呢是 A5 类型的签证，此类签证为投资签证，它是签发给在哈萨克斯坦进行从事投资行业的主管或副主管领导或其结构部门的主管以及他们的家属的。
Recently, there has also been amendments to the legislation where this type of visa category, multiple of it's given up to 5 years.
那么最近的一些条款的规定呢，有效期5年的多次入境投资者签证呢可以被签发。
It's the most important document that one investor has to provide to obtain this visa category. It's a petition from the investment committee of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Could you please come back to the previous slide? I just need to, I haven't finished here yet. So it's a petition of investment committee, and it's the next one is C3 business category, which is primarily given to labor activities for the people who are doing labor activities in Kazakhstan and also the members of their families.
那下一类型的签证呢是 C3 类型签证，此类签证呢是签发给赴哈进行劳务活动的一些人士及其家属。
Multiple of this category is given up to 3 years, and visa is issued upon the work permit of the state bodies of Republic of Kazakhstan.
多次往返的签证呢，有效期为3年。那么它是由我们哈萨克斯坦的驻外境外机构进行邀请并签发，以及哈萨克斯坦的内务部进行通过申请进行签发的。
So, ladies and gentlemen, this was a brief information about the visa categories which were the most prominent that people are applying to. So, moving on to the next slide, I would like to outline the most up-to-date and recent updates on the migration regime of Republic of Kazakhstan. So, as you might know, the government of Kazakhstan granted additional time till 5th of January 2021. So, till this date, foreigners will not be called to administrative liability for violation of periods of stay and untimely departure from the Republic of Kazakhstan. So it is important to say that until this date, everybody who came before pandemic and did not, so to say, prolonged or issued new visas has to apply for the new visas. And after this date, 5th of January, anyone who has not updated or renewed their documents will bear administrative liability according to the legislation of Republic of Kazakhstan. So speaking about
Let's translate.
Yeah. 那么下一个大家现在目前看到的这个幻灯片呢，是我们关于哈萨克斯坦签证和入境制度最新进展的信息。那么根据哈萨克斯坦政府最新决议呢，我们已经将外籍人员在哈逗留的有效期限延长到了我们2021年的1月号。那么在此之前呢，外国人员不会因为违反逗留期限或过早离境哈萨克斯坦共和国而被追究行政责任。也就是说，在1月5号之前，大家都应该取得外籍人员呢都应该取得新的哈国签证，以免被哈国政府进行一些追究刑事责任等等行政责任。Please.
Thanks. About speaking next about the restriction on entry. Here, until we had visa waiver, so to say, programs. However, due to pandemic situation, the visa-free regime has been suspended for those countries, 57 countries, which had a unilateral visa-free regime with Republic of Kazakhstan. So it has been suspended until 1st of May of 2021. And there has also been a 72-hour visa-free regime to stay in the Republic of Kazakhstan for transit passengers who are coming from China and India, and this has been suspended until 1st of January 2021.
Okay. 那么根据哈萨克斯坦政府的最新规定呢，以下免签项目也分别被暂停至了2022年的5月1号至2021 1月1号，那其中包括对57个国家的单边免签证度，以及包括我们来自中国、印度的过境旅客可免签停留72小时的制度。Please go on.
About speaking briefly about the work of migration services, currently in the migration service of city of Nur-Sultan provides the following state services for foreigners who are temporarily staying in Kazakhstan, and it's issuance of temporary residence permits to foreign citizens, issuance of labor patents, and availability upon the availability of grounds, there can be issued visas, and at the same time there is no need to provide coronavirus infection, absence of coronavirus infection certificate, and also issuance of visa support invitation letters for foreigners can also be is also available for the people who are staying obviously abroad.
那么，如幻灯片所示呢，目前努尔苏丹市的移民局也在向哈萨克斯坦临时居留的外国人员提供以下普遍的服务，包括外国人临时居留证的签发，以及劳动专利的签发，以及如条件允许，目前在哈萨克斯坦逗留的外国人员进行签证的签发。与此同时呢，外籍人员无需提供无新冠冠状病毒感染的证明。那么，以及目前在国外的外国人员是申请签证及邀请函。Please go
on. Thanks. Dear ladies and gentlemen, these were the main, so to say, highlights that I would like to mention in my presentation. So you can in Kazakh Invest, I basically operate and work in the field of visa and migration issues. So anytime, and if you come up with some questions, or if you like, you can always refer to me. In the next slide, you can find my contact details. Thank you for your attention.
谢谢大家。以上呢就是我对于哈萨克斯坦的签证类型以及入境最新制度进展的一些汇报。那么，如果大家有任何关于签证方面的问题呢，欢迎大家跟哈萨克投资联系，我们会为大家提供最新最快的一些讯息。我的联系方式呢，在我们幻灯片的结尾处，欢迎大家与我们联系。谢谢。
Almas, thank you very much for your presentation. As we do clearly understand, in case if someone will need support with the visas from the government side, so it's obvious that they should refer to Kazakh Invest for support.
非常感谢阿马先生对我们的详细介绍。那么我们知道，如果大家有任何签证方面的需求呢，大家都会向哈萨克斯坦政府进行求助。那么哈萨克投资是大家非常欢迎大家到哈萨克投资进行咨询。
And now I would like to pass the floor to our immigration team of PwC.
那么现在呢，我想将我们的话筒交给我们的普华永道移民服务的。
Dana, if possible, I want to make one remark considering your wrap-up that you just made. Where our colleagues from the support department are happy to help to Chinese companies in the framework of investment cooperation. We cannot be able to help to all, unfortunately, to all Chinese companies or to all Chinese citizens who are applying or who needs to apply to visa, but to the all companies who are working on investment cooperation, our investment projects, we are ready to help, and this is the work that should be provided from our side. Thank you.
Thank you, Kuanysh.
Thank you, Kuanysh. That's what I wanted to pinpoint at this moment. Yes, we obviously help the investment cooperation activities, and so anyone who is dealing with this kind of activities can refer to us, as I mentioned previously.
那么刚才华内石先生以及阿拉马先生呢也进行了一个补充，那么也非常欢迎大家为投资类型的合作呢来到我们哈萨克投资进行联系，那么我们会为大家提供尽可能的提供最大的帮助。如果大家有任何投资类型的意向的话，欢迎大家与我们联系，我们会为大家提供协助。谢谢大家。
Thank you. Well, then it's very logical. Then the next session will be delivered by our team, Anar, Ansel, and Viktoriya, who can help to anyone. And even though if you do the investments or you don't do the investments, but you just have some personal or business interests in Kazakhstan.
那么自然而然的，下一环节呢，我们会将由我们普华永道的同事们来为大家介绍，不管您是否有进行赴哈进行投资的意向呢，您都会对下面的这些环节感兴趣的。
And I would like to pass the floor to you and your team, and just wanted to briefly mention that you have experience for many years working in this field, doing this practically, and for now doing many things online. So it means that we can render the services virtually as well.
那么下面呢，我会将我们的话筒交给我们普华永道人才和组织变革咨询部的总监安娜卡辛诺娃女士，她在此领域拥有丰富的经验，相信会为大家带来非常有用的信息。
Many thanks, Dana. Many thanks, Kaysar. Yes, allow me to make a brief introduction. My name is Anar Khasenova. I am leading the People Organization practice at PwC Kazakhstan. Yes, please.
非常感谢大家。我的名字是阿纳尔卡谢诺娃，我是普华永道哈萨克斯坦人才和组织变革咨询服务的总监。
Our team represents a one-stop for all mandatory compliance with respect to individuals.
我们的团队呢，为大家提供一站式服务，关于移民和签证服务。
That includes immigration, payroll, HR, as well as personal taxation of expats working in Kazakhstan.
这其中呢，包括了签证，以及我们的薪资服务，以及赴哈进行相关税务服务的提供。
As Dana have mentioned, we have an extensive experience of serving international companies with various aspects mentioned by Kaysar.
那么像达娜女士介绍的一样，我们会为哈萨克斯坦的外资企业提供各个类型的服务，以及我们在此之中拥有丰富的经验。
And we are serving over 2,000 of expats as of today for more than 20 years.
那么我们呢，已经在超过26年的时间里面，为超过2000多家企业提供了此类型的服务。
Our immigration experts who have joined this webinar today, Assel Dussumova and Viktoriya Karabassova.
那么今天呢，我们的演讲呢，由我们的 Assel Dussumova 同事以及 Viktoriya 同事加入，为大家进行介绍。
Have prepared an interesting presentation, which I hope you will find useful.
那么我们为大家准备了一个详尽的 PPT 演示，希望大家能从中学习到相关的各自需要的信息。
And tried to first of all reflect questions that we have received from Mr. Gao.
以及我们想尽量去解答从我们中国贸促会驻哈总代表高奇先生那里收集到的中资企业的相关问题。
Outline in a simple way available scenarios for engaging foreign expats to Kazakhstan.
这其中包括了将外籍专家及工作人员引荐到哈萨克斯坦进行劳务活动。
And give you a high-level overview of HR and tax implications upon each of this scenario, because this is what you're looking at when selecting or choosing the scenario which is convenient for you.
对于赴哈进行劳务活动的工作人员，从HR 角度以及从税务的角度，符合各个类型的工作需要的一个介绍。
Assel Viktoriya, the floor is yours.
Assel Viktoriya 女士，那现在请由您来发言。
Thank you, Anar. Thank you, Kaysar. Hello, everyone. Yes. So as Almas has already covered topics on key immigration requirements and visa types, our suggestion is to move to the slide with visa application process, slide number 11.
谢谢大家。那像我们刚才阿拉马先生和黄律师先生已经介绍到了一样，我们已经对 哈萨克斯坦的签证类型有了一定的了解。那么现在呢，请移到我们的幻灯片，计划您的哈萨克斯坦之旅。
Okay, so visa application process is regulated by the rules of invitation letters and visa obtaining, renewal, and cancellation.
那么我们的哈萨克签证类型呢，适用于我们获取签证、续签签证以及注销邀请函和签证的一些条例。
Standard process includes the following steps. The first one is obtaining of invitation letter from migration authorities.
那标准的程序呢，包括以下3个方面。首先呢，是我们的签证申请程序，首先是我们邀请函及签证的申请。
Invitation letter is to be sponsored by the local entity, registered and operating in Kazakhstan.
那么我们的签证邀请函呢，是由我们哈萨克斯坦的当地机构进行签发的。
Standard processing time is up to 5 business days from the application submission.
签证邀请函的发布时间呢，是由自签证申请递交开始5天之内。
A state fee is about $3 USD and to be paid for each person who requires the invitation letter.
签证邀请函的申请费用呢是3美元每人。
Once LOI is issued, foreign national can apply to the embassy, to the nearest embassy or consulate, as to obtain the visa, and this will be the second step of the process.
签证一旦被发布呢，那么可以持签证邀请函至我们附近哈国驻该国大使馆及领事馆进行签证申请。
Process here takes up to 5-7 business days from the application submission.
那么签证的申请到获取签证呢，中间可能会需要5到7个工作日。
Here, I would like to mention that based on our experience, we know that each embassy might have different requirements, and so our suggestion is to contact the embassy in advance just to check that we do not miss anything. Yes, and sometimes it is even enough to check the embassy official website.
那根据我们过往的经验呢，我们发现各个国家的驻哈大使馆的具体要求是略微有不同的，所以我们建议大家在申请签证之前呢，首先与我们的驻华使领馆取得联系，获得具体的签证申请信息。
Okay. Please move to the slide number 14. Change your visa type in Kazakhstan. Next. This one, thank you. So further to the information on visa types performed by Almas, we would like to mention that there is a possibility to change visa from one type to another in Kazakhstan without leaving the country.
除了之前Almas先生提供的有关签证类型的信息之外呢，我们还要指出，根据目前的移民法，我们可以在移民当局将目前在哈持有的签证类型的类型改变成另外一种类型，而不需要离开哈萨克斯坦境内。
And considering existing travel restrictions, it's like a great opportunity, yes, because foreign nationals will not need to leave the country in this case.
那么根据具体的是一个非常吸引人的一个政策。那么也就是说，我们的外国人呢，不需要离开哈萨克斯坦国境，就可以在哈萨克斯坦国家境内进行签证类型的更换。
Of course, it is not applicable for each type of visa. So on this slide, we tried to specify some available options.
这种政策呢，并不适用于每一种签证类型。那么在此张幻灯片当中呢，大家可以看到可适用的签证类型。
For example, if you're a holder of visa category B3, C3, C4, or C5, you're eligible to get investor visa A5 in Kazakhstan.
那大家可以看到呢，如果说 某人持有 B3、B10、C3、C4、C5类型的签证呢，那么可以从当地移民局在哈萨国境内申请获得 A5类型的签证，投资者签证。
If you're a holder of work visa category C3, you can obtain visa B8, which will allow you to apply for a resident permit.
那么，如果您持有的是 C3类型的劳务签证的话呢，那么您有资格获得 B8类型的签证，也就是说有居民许可类型的签证。
As you can see from the slide, some changing of some visa types are available only for certain categories. For example, if you would like to change business visa category B3 or C3 for business visa category B2, it is available only for participants and bodies of the Astana International Financial Center.
正如您在此幻灯片中看到的，某些类型的签证呢是有一些特殊的可用情况的。例如，将 C3类型的或 B3类型的签证更改为商务签证 B2类型签证的话呢，此种情况仅适用于在阿斯塔纳国际金融中心进行参与的会员或机构。
It is also possible to change business visa category B3 and B2 to work visa category C3 based on the work permit.
那根据劳务许可呢，我们也可以将我们 B2 和 B3类型的商务签证呢更改为我们 C3类型的工作签证。
But here we would like to mention that based on immigration legislation, primary work visa can be issued only in the region where the inviting company is registered.
那么我们需要提醒大家的是呢，根据当前的移民法规，申请者只可以在公司注册地、注册城市获得主要的工作签证类型。
So it means that, for example, if the company registered in Nur-Sultan, but foreign employee is working, providing services in Almaty, work visa application for work visa must be submitted in Nur-Sultan.
也就是说呢，我们举个例子，如果说该公司是在努尔苏丹市注册的，但是外籍人员呢，劳务职员是在阿拉木图市进行工作，那么此类型的签证的申请必须通过努尔苏丹市的移民局进行申请。
Okay, thank you. Next slide.
谢谢大家，下一个。
Vika, just a second. We have a question in the chat section. So one of the participants is asking to just double confirm that the letter to or the obtaining letter of invitation from migration authorities is $3, just to confirm that this figure is correct.
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, sir, can you translate, please?
那么之前我们在这个聊天框里面收到了一个问题，是问是否是申请为签证邀请函的费用是3美元每人。那么答案是的。
Yes, yeah, it is 3 USD. It is a state fee payment, yes, that inviting companies should pay in order to get the invitation letter. And of course, the consular fee that will be paid to the embassy for visa will be another amount.
是的，那么国家政府要求的费用呢是3美元每人，那么其他的费用呢可能会按据使领馆的要求呢进行支付，这样。Please go on.
Okay, next slide. So here we would like to talk about electronic visa, e-visa. It is effective in Kazakhstan starting from 1st of January 2019.
那么自2019年的1月1号开始呢，我们哈萨克斯坦政府呢推行了电子签证的一个申请。
This type of visa can be issued for business, tourism, and medical treatment purposes, and issued also based on the letter of invitation approved by the Ministry of Internal Affairs.
此类签证呢，可以根据哈萨克斯坦移民局出具批准的邀请函呢，进行商务、旅游、医疗类型的签证的目的的签证的类型办理。
Foreigners can enter and exit Kazakhstan using an electronic visa only through the international airports such as Nur-Sultan and Almaty.
那么获取此类电子签证类型的外籍人士呢，只能通过努尔苏丹市和阿拉木图市的国际机场进行进出。
The electronic visa is valid only for the visa applicant, for main visa applicant, and doesn't apply to a company in person.
那么此电子用于签证申请人本人，不适用于其随行人员。
And here we need to mention that issuance of electronic visas for Chinese nationals is temporarily suspended, and as for now, there is no any information when the service will be resumed.
那很遗憾的呢，是目前我们对中国公民的电子签证的发放呢是暂时停止的。目前我们也没有收到任何相关消息通知何时会恢复此类签证的发放。
Thank you. So the next slide. And here we would like to talk about entry to Kazakhstan during current restrictions, COVID-19 restrictions.
那么下一环节呢，我们想为大家介绍一下，在疫情期间呢，入境哈萨克斯坦的一些限制以及所需注意的事项。
Despite the fact that the issuance of work permits is carried out without any limitations now, entry to Kazakhstan as well as obtaining of invitation letters, visas is possible only based on the permission from the Interdepartmental Commission.
需要提到的一点呢是，尽管现在工作许可的发放不受任何限制，但是入境哈萨克斯坦才能可以只有得到部门间委员会的许可，才可以入境哈萨克斯坦，并获得邀请信及签证、邀请函及签证。
Process of obtaining such permission includes the following steps.
获得该许可的过程呢，可以包括以下步骤。
First one is preparation and submission of request to the relevant authority by the inviting party.
首先呢，是由邀请方准备向有关部门提交申请。
So this request should specify the reason why the person, why physical presence of foreign employee is required, contain information on project and from the activities.
那进行此类申请时呢，需要写明来哈的目的，比方说进行等等。
Next step is consideration of the request by Interdepartmental Commission.
下一个呢是由部门间委员会考虑批准这项申请。
And finally, the last step is issuance of entry permission.
那么最后一项呢是签发入境许可，那这里有来自于有关的协议或者确认函。
It can be provided to the inviting party as an excerpt from protocol or as a confirmation letter.
像我刚才介绍到的是有关于它应该来自于有关当局的协议或者确认函。
Depends on the region. Process can take from 2 to 4 weeks.
那么是具体申请地区而异，此过程可需要2到4个星期进行一个出具。
Based on the obtained permission, the inviting company can proceed with the invitation letter and obtaining of visa.
根据在获得许可的基础上呢，邀请的公司可以办理请愿书或者签证，邀请函或者签证。
Thank you. So once a foreign national has permission from the government, has approved LOI and visa, he is eligible to enter Kazakhstan.
因此呢，一旦外籍人士获得入境许可和相关签证，他就可以顺利进入哈萨克斯坦。那么sorry, Victoria, we got a question from the chat box. It said that, hello, could you please explain if the entry into Kazakhstan, the permit is the same thing with the permit when you are trying to apply for a letter of invitation? entry Kazakhstan permit, is it same with permit of applying for a letter of invitation?
Well, this permission to entry, it is like it is applicable only during the COVID-19 restrictions. Yes, and as for now, obtaining of a letter of invitation is impossible without this entry permission.
那么刚才我们收到一个问题呢，在我们的这个对话框里面是问入境许可和办理邀请函的许可是否是一个事情，是否是相同的？那么我们的解答呢是入境许可是目前在我们新冠疫情当中特殊情况下的一种申请。那么办理邀请函的许可的前提是获得入境许可，获得入境许可才可以办理签证邀请函。
And also we can say that it is not the same as the work permit. Yes.
也就是说呢，它不是同一件事情。那么当然也和我们获得工作许可、劳务许可是不是同一件事情。
Because even if you have a work permit, but if you do not have visa, you will need to get this entry permission in order to get a letter of invitation, then the work visa from the embassy.
因为即使您拥有这个劳务许可呢，也需要获得这个入境许可，以申请办理邀请函以及之后的我们孵化的签证，是这样。
Okay, so
谢谢。
Yes, thank you. So now we can move to the next slides and talk about actions that need to be taken by the inviting companies upon the arrival of foreign employees.
那么下面呢，我们切换到下一张幻灯片，是有关于相关外籍人士抵达哈萨克斯坦以后的一些须知信息以及它的限制与义务。
Thank you. Please. So, based on current immigration legislation, submission of notification on arrival is mandatory for all foreign nationals arriving to Kazakhstan. It should be submitted. Sorry, you can translate.
那么根据哈萨克斯坦的目前的移民局的一些规定呢，所有抵达哈萨克斯坦的外籍人士必须在抵达时提交抵达通知。
It must be submitted by the inviting party within 3 business days after arrival.
那么根据这个外籍人士抵达哈萨克斯坦之日算起呢，邀请机构必须在3个工作日内提交相关通知。提交相关通知。
Notification on arrival is submitted online, and this really simplifies the process because there is no need to visit migration authorities now.
那么非常方便的一点是呢，我们的这个抵达通知呢是可以在线进行报备的。那么这非常节省时间和精力。
The whole responsibility for notification lies with the inviting party. Yes, and in case if notification is not submitted in time, inviting party will be subject to administrative liability.
那么抵达通知呢是由它的责任呢是完全由我们邀请方进行承担的。Sorry, Victoria, could you please repeat the last sentence?
In case if notification on arrival is not submitted in time, inviting party will be subject to administrative violation.
如果说在3个工作日内没有进行这个报备呢，那么我们邀请机构呢会受到一些行政处罚。
So it is a fine in amount of 10, 15, or 20 monthly calculated index, depending on the entity, small business entity, medium or large business.
那么根据这个企业的规模呢大小，那么我们将这个行政处罚分为3个级别。那么小型的企业呢，它会需要去提交10个月度计算指数的这么一个罚款，中等呢是15个月度计算指数，那么大型企业呢是罚20个月度计算指数。Victoria, could you please briefly introduce the current MCI standard of estimation around
it is for 2020. It is 2,700. 2070. Yes, something like that.
Okay. Thank you. 2,700, right? Around.
Around, yeah.
那么我们刚才问了一下，我们这个月度计算指数呢，它是根据2020年的这个标准呢，是每一个月度计算指数是2700间隔左右，所以10个月度计算指数也就是27000间隔，这样以此类推。
Based on the changes announced in April 2020, in case if a repeated violation is detected within 1 year, company will be blacklisted for 1 year without opportunity to invite foreign personnel.
那么基于2020年4月宣布的一个规则的变化呢，如果1年内反复有相关的一个违规记录，那么该公司会被列入黑名单，长达1年。为期1年，那么以及他将没有机会进行再邀请外方的工作人员入境。
So that's all that we would like to tell about visa process and immigration requirements. So we now can move to the next slides and talk about options for engagement of foreign personnel to Kazakhstan.
那么下一环节呢，我们来跟大家一起讨论一下聘用外籍劳务人员在哈工作的相关制度。
And Kaysar, I just wanted to remind to our guests that we have the chat section. In case there are any questions, please leave the questions in this section because in 5-10 minutes we will finish with Viktoriya's presentation and we will be available for about 25-30 minutes to discuss the questions from our guests.
Sure. 那么我们刚才达娜女士介绍的也是呢，如果大家有任何的问题，欢迎大家在聊天框里面输入大家的问题。那么我们大概会在5分钟到10分钟之后呢，开始我们的问答环节，大家会有25到30分钟左右的时间进行一个交流。谢谢大家。
Okay. So the next slide, we can see on the next slide we can see 3 main options for engagement of foreign personnel to Kazakhstan. It is direct hire, provision of foreign personnel, and intercorporate transfer.
那么大家可以在幻灯片中看到，我们目前呢聘用外籍劳务人员在哈工作相关制度呢有3种选项：1直接聘用，2外籍劳务人员供应，3公司内部调动。
And now we can look for each option in more details.
那么现在我们再把每一个选项呢进行一个详细的介绍。
Next slide, please. So here the direct hire. The main term here is that the inviting company is a legal entity registered and operating in Kazakhstan.
那么直接聘用的话呢，是邀请方公司呢是在哈萨克斯坦进行注册和经营的法律实体。
And considering this, foreign employee will sign a local employment contract with the company, and salary will be paid in the local currency.
那么根据此类呢，我们的相关要求的话呢是该公司是必须由国家指定费用进行支付，那么它也应该遵循当地的这个雇佣合同并且由邀请方进行这个薪酬的支付。
Work permit is issued within the quota for engagement of foreign personnel allocated by the Ministry of Labor.
Could you please repeat again? Here.
Work permit is issued within the quota for engagement of foreign personnel allocated by the Ministry of Labor.
那么呢，我们的工作许可配额呢是由我们的哈萨克斯坦劳务部进行分配，根据我们具体的一些配额的要求标准。
And inviting company also pays state fee payment for the work permit issuance.
那么我们的这个邀请机构呢，也应向国家进行指定费用的一些支付。
Inviting company should also follow the local content requirements.
那么我们的当地邀请机构呢，也应该满足我们当地的一些条款的要求。
In particular for first and second category,
number
of local staff should be not less than 70%.
那么比方说第一类和第二类的话呢，当地员工的人数应该不少于总员工人数的70%。
And for the third and fourth categories, not less than 90%.
那么对于第3和第4类的企业呢，是当地员工人数不应超过总员工人数的90%。
This requirement is not applicable for the following categories.
但是这些规定呢，不适用于以下类别的企业和机构
：small business entities,
小规模经济法律实体、
governmental organizations,
政府机构
and representative offices or branches of foreign legal entities with total number of employees, local and foreign, up to 30.
以及总员工人数30人以上的外国法律机构代表处或分支机构。
Okay. And so we can move to the second option, which is provision of foreign personnel. So provision of foreign personnel is a temporary transfer of foreign personnel to Kazakhstan from a foreign legal entity operating in Kazakhstan under service contract without forming a branch or representative offices.
那么下一个呢，是我们关于外籍劳务人员供应的一个信息的介绍。那么临时将外籍劳动力转移到哈萨克斯坦呢，是根据服务合同由在哈国经营的未设立分支机构或代表处的外国法律实体进行的。
The main difference from the direct hire here is that signing of local employment contract is not required. And
那么主要和主要直接聘用的方式的区别呢，是我们目前不能在哈萨克斯坦直接签订这个劳务合同。
And foreign employee will stay on a home company payroll and will be sent to Kazakhstan based on the service agreement.
那么外籍劳务人员呢，是基于这个服务合同被派遣到哈国进行工作，那么薪水呢是由他的母公司也就是原公司进行支付。
Such requirements as quota, local content requirements, and state fee payment are the same as for the direct hire.
那么相关条款呢，包括有一些配额的要求，以及需要支付国家要求的一些费用，以及要满足当地一些条款的要求。
So thank you. Next slide, please. So here we have the third option is intercorporate transfer.
那么下面呢，我们最后一个方式呢是公司内部调动的方式。
So intercorporate transfer is also a temporary transfer of foreign national employed on a position of executive, manager, or specialist in a legal entity established in a country member of the World Trade Organization.
那么我们公司内部调动的方式呢，像大家在幻灯片上面看到的，是在哈萨克斯坦共和国境外经营的，在该国 WTO 所在国家地区设立的外国法人实体的执行人员、经理或专家职位的外国公民或无国籍人士，转移到根据哈萨克斯坦共和国法律在哈萨克斯坦共和国设立的该法律实体的分支机构、子公司或代表处。
As you can see, the duration of this transfer is regulated by the agreement, but shouldn't exceed 3 years, and with the right for extension for 1 year.
那么此类别的公司内部调动呢，它的有效期限呢不能根据合同不能超过3年，但是有权延长1年。
As you can see from the slide, terms are different from the terms applicable to the direct hire and provision of foreign personnel. For example, quota requirements are not applicable and work permit is issued free of charge.
那么根据如同大家看到的，那我们目前的这个公司内部调动的这个条款呢，跟我们前2项选项的这个条款呢略有所不同。比方说，我们不会对配额有任何限制，也不适用于此。那么我们也不会对这个工作许可进行费用的收取，它是免费的。
Local content requirement is still applicable, and in this case, number of foreign employees shouldn't exceed 50% of local staff.
那么当地条款呢还依旧适用，也就是说，我们外籍员工的人数数量呢不应超过总员工人数数量的50%。
Also, which is really important, that the inviting company should make a local market search prior to work permit application.
那么需要提到的一点是呢，在大家向申请这个工作许可的之前呢，需要进行对当地市场的一个研究。
Other words, inviting companies should announce vacant position or in a local market, then arrange an interview with candidates, if any, and provide like just a reasonable justification to the employment centers that candidates are not sufficient for the applied job.
那么我们在当地市场进行研究之后呢，需要公布我们需要聘用外籍员工，并且向市场呢进行一个开放的一个应聘的一个程序，并向当地的这个劳务机构进行声明，说我们未收到合适的应聘申请。
Also, special conditions are applicable to inviting party in this case.
那么也同样有一些其他的一些特殊情况呢，适用于此类条款。
And depending on the category, inviting companies should choose professional training, retraining, advanced training of local staff, or creation of jobs for local staff.
那在此种特殊情况下呢，我们的邀请方企业应该决定是否要对当地员工进行职业培训，还是再培训或高培训，或为当地员工创造就业岗位。
And again, there is no need to sign a local employment contract. Salary is paid by the home company in foreign currency.
那么在此需要提醒大家的是呢，它无需与哈国的公司它不能与哈国的公司有任何的劳务关系，并且主公司要与主公司签立劳务合同，薪水呢是由主公司按照外币来进行支付。
So that's all that we would like to tell about options for engaging a foreign personnel to Kazakhstan.
那么以上呢就是我们想为大家介绍的关于在哈萨克斯坦工作的相关制度的一些介绍。谢谢大家。
Viktoriya, thank you very much. So we have received 3 questions in the chat section. While we will be discussing the answers, maybe some other of the guests would have additional questions. Guys, I have translated the questions so you can see that there's like both languages. Maybe you can read the question and Vika, Anar, Assel can respond, and if Kazakh Invest would like to step in as well. So you're welcome. Kazakh, could you please start with reading out the questions? Can you see them?
Yeah, sure. I'm reading the English ones.
Can you translate it into Chinese so that the guests also can understand?
Sure. 那么大家好，我们收到了几个问题在我们的对话框里面。第一个问题是问我们最小的这个为了投资签证适用于投资签证的最小额的投资额是多少？然后是否可以公布一下我们的这个相对一些投资领域，然后以便我们确定我们是否自己身处于该投资领域当中，是否有这样的一个列表。
Sir, we are talking about the interagency committee question, correct?
We are talking about the minimum investment amount to be applied to investor visa, yeah.
And
yes, if I may answer this question, actually there are no so to say restrictions on the investment amount, so that investor can apply to investor's visa. However, there are some kind of so to say conditions that investor has to so to say fit So it has to be realization of investment projects in the priority sectors of according to the decree of Republic of Kazakhstan. This is the first condition. The second condition is membership at the Union of Foreign Investors under the President of Republic of Kazakhstan. The third is to have the investment contract with the investment committee of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the last but not least, and the two, so to say, to have the recommendations from the state bodies or quasi-state bodies.
So Almas, I would like to confirm with you again. So there are like 4 requirements for such kind of to obtain the investor visa. The first one is to have an invest project in Kazakhstan, right?
Yes, it's be in the list of priority investment projects.
So which means we have a priority list of such kind of area, right? So maybe
Yes.
Is it readable or obtainable from your website later?
Yes, actually, I can.
Okay.
I can send it. Actually, yes.
Thank you. And
Yes.
then the second one is should be a member of the Union of Foreign Investors of Republic of Kazakhstan.
Council of Foreign Investors in Kazakhstan, and the president. So
It can be applied. It can be applied, right?
Yes, it's one of the. Doesn't have to fit all, but at least one of them. These conditions.
Okay. Could you please repeat the fourth one, the state bodies?
The last one is to have recommendations, so to say, recommendation letters from the state or quasi-state government bodies.
Thank you. 那么呢，我们之前在我们的对话框里面收到了一个问题呢，是询问具体申请我们投资签证的一些要求是如何的？那么是否有这样的一个名单？这个优先的一些投资领域，那么以确定我们是否在这个领域之内。那么我们阿拉先生的回复呢是，企业只要满足以下4个条件即可申请投资签证。那么首先呢是该企业满足这个优先投资领域名单。那么这个名单呢，我们后面可以和阿拉先生呢进行联系。那么他会将相关领域的这个名单呢名录发给各个领导，那么大家可以进行查阅自己的企业是否在这个名单之内。那第二个呢是它需要是在我们哈萨克斯坦外资投资委员会注册下的一个会员，那么这个呢也可以进行申请。第三个呢是和我们的这个哈萨克斯坦外务部有这个投资合同。第4个呢是由我们这个国家机构或者次期国家机构的这个邀请信，那么满足以下条件的任意呢，都可以成为我们申请这个投资签证的这个一个有力的保障。So we got the next question.
Just one comments, Almas, as I understand. To be a member of national or state investment council, it's not an obligation. It's just companies who are members of that council could also apply for investors visa. But others who having investment projects and whose projects are within this priority investment activities list are also, but not in the not members of the council. They also can apply. Is it right? Please clarify. Thank you.
Kuanysh, yes, that's what I mentioned earlier. It doesn't have to be only. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to fit all the conditions. It is okay if you just fit one of them, whether you can have the this in the list of these priority so to say, sectors, or if you are not a member and if you are in this list, it's okay just to have to fit any of these options, or whether if you don't fit the first two mentioned, you can just have the so to say other two. It's to have the investment contract or to have the recommendations from the quasi-state or state bodies. Thank you.
Thank you. 凯撒尔，麻烦你请跟大家明确一下这一点，谢谢。
好的。那么刚才呢，我们华律师先生呢也是提出了一个疑问，请阿拉猫先生进行确认，是否是必须要成为我们外资投资委员会的这个会员单位？那么答复呢是不是必须的？只要满足我们刚才谈到的这个4个条件其中的任意一条呢，大家是都可以进行投资签证的申请的。比方说，只要该企业满足我们这个优先领域优先投资领域的这个范围呢，大家都可以进行一个签证的这个申请。
Okay, thank you. Maybe we can move to the next question regarding the interagency committee. Maybe this question could be addressed to Assel and Vika. Which department is currently responsible for submitting the list? Recently received information from the social welfare department of the city of Almaty. If the company is in Almaty, so basically, is there like regional, let's say, allocation of responsibilities?
Yes. 那么下面呢，我们接到的一个问题呢，是关于我们这个部门间委员会的。那么是具体这个问题呢，是具体哪一个部门在目前是负责收集并递交这个名单？那么我们收到了一些信息呢，从我们这个哈萨克的这个社会福利部门。那么这个公司是否应该是在阿拉木图？比方说
Yes, correct. So the first company shall submit the list to the department. It is the same authority who issues work permit for foreign employees. Then department prepares a list and submits it to the ACMAT of a relevant region. In case if ACMAT approves this list and all requests from the companies, then it goes to the ministry, and after that, protocol is issued.
那么对于此问题的答案呢是，我们进行此项申请的这个部门呢是跟我们申请我们劳务许可部门的这个是相同的。第一步呢是向我们的劳务许可部门进行一个申请，第二步呢是由我们的市政府进行一个同意，第三呢是由我们的部委进行相关的一个条款的一个签发，是这样。
Okay, thank you. The question is in Chinese language, so basically the English translation says, as I understand, Kazakhstan suspended or like stopped giving the invitation letters in January of this year. In case if I need to apply for visa, will the process of invitation letters be kind of returned or renewed? Kasar, maybe you can read the question in Chinese.
The question is asking, 目前呢，我们又说到另外一个问题呢，是问。我想请问一下，在今年的1月份，哈萨克斯坦已经停发了签证邀请函。那如需办理签证，是否也恢复发邀请函 ？It says that starting from the January this year, Kazakhstan has a suspend of issuing the visa invitation letter. So if we want applying for the visa, is it already? Can we already start to apply for the letter of invitation already?
Who would like to respond?
I can respond from the immigration perspective. So this suspension was done due to COVID-19 restriction, and in case if you want to apply for a visa now in the current situation, you need to apply for the special permission from the interagency department, as we mentioned earlier. But once restrictions will be, once this situation with pandemic will over, then we'll see what will go, what will be in the future.
那么对于这个问题的答复呢，是目前呢我们采取了一些特殊的政策。如果说想要申请哈国签证呢，是必须要向部门间委员会进行申请。那么何时解除这个限制呢？我们目前还不得而知。我们也会将消息在获得消息的第一时间向大家进行发布。
Okay. So the next question is in Chinese language. It says basically, what is the ratio between the local employees and foreign employees? I guess this is about quotas.
那么下一个问题呢，是用中文提问的，是这位 Mr. Mark 先生呢，想确认一下中国企业在哈国设立子公司本地员工的比例是多少 ？So Mr. Mark asking if the Chinese company wants to establish a branch in Kazakhstan, what's the ratio between the local staff and the foreign staff?
If we are talking about the local Kazakh local content, so it depends on categories. So, and first and second categories, the local staff should be 70%, and expatriate foreign staff is 30%. And if we are talking about third and fourth categories, then the local staff should be 90% and foreign staff is 10%.
So how to decide which company is belong to which category?
No, it's not depend on company. It depend on employees' professions. Yes, the special what position titles they have. We have a list of the position titles, and it can be divided into first, second, third, and fourth categories.
那么对于这个问题呢，比方说中国企业在哈国设立子公司本地员工的比例，那么我们的专家的回复是如下。那么根据我们外籍员工的以及本地员工的这个职业类型呢，它分为如果说属于在1到3类型的这个企业人员，那么他的本地员工数量应该是90%，那么外籍员工数量是10%。如果说我们的这个职业类型它属于2、4类型的话，那么我们的本地员工的数量应该是70%，外籍员工的数量是30%。那么请大家根据具体的工作类型和职务来确定目前某一个具体的这个本地员工和外籍员工的这个范围类别。
Just to add small addition here, the first and second categories are granted for the heads and the deputy heads of the companies, and the third and fourth category is mostly the specialists and the, so to say, little foreign labor, which are specifically dealing with the special towards the direction of their fields. Thank you.
那么阿纳先生进行了个补充，也就是说我们前2类的这个类别呢，是属于我们公司老总或者说副总、企业领导和副领导级别的职位。那么我们后面2类的职务类别呢，是我们为了专家型或者专业型人才来进行设置的这个类型。
Almas Khamza, thank you. So next question is on Hong Kong passport holders. Are they still visa free or not?
那么下一个问题呢是关于香港的。那么问题是问持有香港护照的投资者目前是否可以免签进入哈萨克斯坦？
I think I can answer this question. As far as I know, for now, due to pandemic situation and COVID-19 situation, all the visa-free regime has been lifted until at least the first of like the beginning of 2021, except for the countries of Eurasian Economic Union countries like Russia, Armenia, and so on, Kyrgyzstan, and so forth.
那么根据阿拉猫先生的这个叙述呢，那么我们目前根据我们所持有的信息呢，是到2021年1月1号之前，所有的免签政策都是暂停的，除了我们欧亚经济同盟的一些国家的公民，比方说俄罗斯、亚美尼亚、吉尔吉斯斯坦等等。
Thank you, Kazakh. So the next question is in Chinese. The investment visa is extended from 3 years to 5 years. I have applied for an investment visa for 3 years before the changes in the policy. Can I extend the extension under the new policy? Maybe you can speak in Chinese.
那么我们收到的另外一个问题呢，是说我的投资签证一般是由3年已经延长到了5年的政策了。那么在延长政策生效之前呢，我已经办理了3年的投资签证，现在是否可以根据新的政策进行延期
Yes, if I may. Of course, under the new legislation, it's 5 years, and this extension is you can reapply, for example, and they will reconsider your application. So to say, it's based on your application and all the documents that you are providing to.
So it's not automatical, yeah, Almas? You need to reapply.
Yes, yes.
And you need to reapply, but not extend, right?
Yes, actually, reapplication is the same as for
all over again.
Extend, yes.
Okay, thank you. 那
么
对于这个问题的答复呢是是的，我们已经将投资签证的这个期限呢由3年延长到了5年，但是呢还是需要进行重新的一个申请。比如说，如果您手中已经有一个办理好的3年的一个投资签证了，但是这个政策呢是在您的生效期之前办理的，那么目前呢您还是重新需要去进行申请办理一个5年的投资签证，是这样。
Thank you, Kazakh. People from 57 countries that have temporarily suspended visa-free entry, if they need to enter Kazakhstan, what relevant procedures should they go through? Assel, Vika, maybe you take this question.
Yeah.
那么我们收到的一个问题呢是问，我们暂时停止了免签入境的57个国家，那么这57个国家的公民呢是需要入境哈萨克斯坦的话，需要办理什么样的相关手续
So the first step is to apply for entry permission from COVID-19 interagency committee. Then the second step is to apply for the invitation letter to migration authority. And once immigration authority approves the invitation letter, then to apply for visa.
那么呢，需要有2步。那第一步呢，是去我们这个哈萨克斯坦在疫情期间成立的这个入境哈萨克斯坦许可委员会呢，类似相关的机构，去这个机构呢取得我们的相关的证明。在得到这个证明以后呢，我们去我们的哈萨克斯坦的移民局进行我们签证邀请函的这个申请。
Question. What are the advantages of being included in the list of priority projects as an investor? For example, incentives to attract foreign workers, more foreign workers, more quotas for category 3 and 4, maybe other benefits. So maybe you can translate, and Kuanysh or Almas, maybe you would like to respond.
Yeah. 也是，那么呢，我们又收到了一个问题，这个问题呢是对第一个问题的一个进一步的一个询问。那么这位观众在问，对于第一个问题，作为投资者被列入优先项目的清单呢有什么好处？例如是否有吸引外国工人的奖励措施，或者说或者说可以得到更多的外籍劳工配额，即第3类和第4类配额。是否有其他的一些好处和优惠
？Yes, I can answer this question. So if one company is concluding the contract for the priority projects with the investment body of the investment committee of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it is in the contract. If it's priority project contract, on the list of the so to say foreign labor is included in this contract, and they can obtain work visas without quotas and work permits, since they are already included in the contract with this special list. And they are given such an incentive. And the period of it after the 1 year after the sort of implementation of the investment project.
After 1 year, you mean, right?
Excuse me?
Did you say after 1 year of the project implementation?
After 1 year of implementation of project.
OK, thank you. 那么对于这个问题的答复呢，Almas先生的陈述是，如果说该投资类型的签证的申请是在该项目已经实施1年以后呢，那么我们的这个优惠政策呢是，如果说该企业处于这个优先项目清单之内，或者说它有这个和我们这个哈萨克斯坦外事部有这个投资合同的话，那么它是不需要这个劳务配额，以及不需要进行我们劳务许可的这个申请的，是这样。但是它的条件是必须要在我们这个合同必须要我们的这个项目在它实施1年之后开始。
Almas, to clarify, so as I understand, the project should be in the priority activities list, right? And if it is in priority activity list, they could apply for the investment contract. And within the framework of that investment contract, they can get the incentives to have a more simple application for work permits or without work permits without quota. So, 凯撒，这个应该是不是有限项目清单，是有限领域的这个经济有限领域的清单，不是项目清单。
是，谢谢华内士先生。是这个项目处于优先的这些项目领域的话，那么相关的企业呢可以去进行一个申请。那么它的好处是呢，它不受这个配额的限制，以及不需要这个工作许可等等一些条例的限制。谢谢华内士先生。
它会有一些简化的一些这个简化流程或者办理的一个这个政策。And the second, I think what Almas also confirmed that so they can get the incentives on work permits or visa application within this investment contract framework. And plus 1 year after they finish the construction of the project. So before, while they constructing their project, and after 1 year of submitting the project. So this is also a very important thing within providing such incentives.
那么华内士先生刚才也再次确认了一下。那么除了我们刚才谈到的具体的项目处于这个优先项目清单之内之外呢，我们的这个合同的这个框架必须是成为这个投资合同框架之内，并且在合同期限结束之后的1年内，也依旧可以进行相关的这个投资签证的申请，并且可以简化相关的通信。
就是投资者他签署了这个第一，他的这个投资项目应该是在有限的哈萨克斯坦有限的经济领域范围内，这是第一个。第二个，他如果符合这个条件的话，他可以申请并签署投资协议。然后签完投资协议的话，在建设这个项目期间，他可以有权利获得一些简单的或者简化的或者配额之外的一些这个办理劳务或者商务签证的一些优惠政策，但这些优惠政策除了在这个项目的建设期间之外，还可以项目脱产之后1年内可以享受。然后在运营阶段，就是已经不是这个就是不需要了，因为当时这个项目已经是建设好的。因为这些优惠政策主要是有助于这些项目能够尽快如果需要用于这个国外的这个劳务的话，就是提供的。
非常感谢华内士先生的详细介绍。
So it looks like we have covered all the questions in the chat box.
那么好像我们已经将所有的在我们的对话框里面提到的问题都解答完毕了。
And we actually are running out of time and need to finalize.
那么我们现在呢也接近了我们本次研讨会的尾声。
So I just would like to thank very much Mr. Gaochi, who has supported us in collecting the questions from the Chinese investors operating in Kazakhstan and helping to share the invitation. So thank you very much to Mr. Gaochi, the Chamber of Trade.
那么首先呢，我非常想感谢高奇先生呢对于我们本次研讨会的大力支持，也非常感谢您帮助我们从在哈的中资企业那里征集到我们这些相关的一些签证领域的问题，非常感谢您。
Thank you very much to Kuanysh, to yourself and your team, Janat and Almas, for the cooperation and sharing your knowledge and support.
也非常感谢华内士先生以及您的团队，非常感谢詹纳先生以及我们的阿玛先生为我们分享相关的一些信息。
And definitely, in case if our guests have any investment type of questions, just feel free to address your question directly to Kazakh Invest.
如果大家有任何的有关于我们投资领域的签证的一些获取的一些相关的问题的话呢，也欢迎大家不要犹豫的去跟我们哈萨克投资的同事们进行联系和联络。
Anar, Assel, Viktoriya, thank you very much for providing the materials, and I'm sure in case if our guests have any questions, you will be glad to respond to these questions.
也非常感谢我的同事阿纳尔女士、阿塞女士以及 Viktoriya 女士你们详尽的介绍。如果我们的客户们或者说我们的中资企业领导有任何的问题的话呢，我相信您也会为他们进行一个详尽的一个指导和服务的。
Kaysar, thank you very much for your support with translation.
海萨，谢谢你的细心翻译。
And I just would like to invite our guests to our next webinar, which will be on the customs issues, so like peculiarities of import and export at the Kazakhstan and Chinese border.
那么呢，在此我也想热烈邀请大家参与到我们下一次的网络研讨会当中，它是有关于我们中国和哈萨克斯坦进出口业务的一些信息的介绍。
So in case if there are like any questions, please just let us know your questions on customs issues. And you can send your questions to Kaysar and Pirizat, and basically we will try to shape our agenda around your questions.
那么我们也非常欢迎大家将大家有在海关领域或者说进出口领域的相关问题的话发给我本人，或者说发给皮利扎特。那么我的联系方式、电子邮箱呢，也在幻灯片中，大家可以看到。我也在微信群里面有在。那么本次海关研讨会呢，是会在本月的24号举行。给大家提醒一下。
Separate invitation for the customs webinar.
我们之后呢，会为大家发出我们的签证邀请，我会为大家发出我们的活动邀请函。
The video recording of this webinar again will be available on the website of Kazakh Invest and PwC Kazakhstan Chinese pages.
关于此次研讨会的网络视频实录呢，将会被发布到我们的普华永道中文网以及我们哈萨克投资的官方网站上面，供大家查看。
Thank you very much for your time.
非常感謝大家的收看，謝謝大家。
Yeah, we would also like to thank Dana and Anar and all PwC who provided such floor for us, and we are always glad to take part in such activities and webinars, and to have an opportunity to meet more Chinese companies who could we work together. Thank you very much.
华内士先生也介绍到，我非常感谢我们普华永道同事为大家准备了这么好的样的一个平台，邀请哈萨克投资同事们进行加入。那么也欢迎大家以后有任何相关的活动或者相关的类似的活动的话，欢迎邀请我们参加。那么我们也非常乐意为大家提供相关业务领域的一些咨询服务，解答大家的问题。谢谢大家。
谢谢大家，有合作意向的这个中国企业请随时和我们联系，谢谢。
Thank you very much. Goodbye. 谢谢大家，再见。
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Everyone, goodbye.